Alright, good morning guys, or good day, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time you're gonna be watching this video of mine. Again, this is an Asurai solo cast, and this is just basically a project of mine wherein I cast random games from tournaments, but basically we're gonna be focusing more on the Carbon Series tournament. This is gonna be the match between Renegades versus Immortals in a best of 5. So hold on to your seats, or just sit back, relax, take a bit of popcorn or soft drinks if you have, and then enjoy the cast. So let's have a little bit of rundown for our players. On the blue side, the defending team, it's going to be Renegades with Sherlucky as a support, Jesus, Jer, Mangachu, Eco, and Juvenile. As for Immortals, we're going to be having Verbo, Grim Reality, Agilities, Eichenwalde, Hyped, and Nomi. Definitely a fan of the Renegades roster right now. Mangachu has definitely been such a huge impact player here for Renegades, and for Immortals, I think Grim Reality is on the opposite side of that spectrum. But now look at this, Agility will be looking for the high ground, maybe to stop any flankers, because, well, you can see that Renegades with Eco actually being on that, well, Genji can actually just go for the defensive backstab Genji plays, and he's doing it right now. He's going very aggressive into, well, I can see it was into Aethan, but Aethan was able to survive with the help focus fire from Agilities. And look at this, it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a first quick cap for Immortals. Grim Reality finding Sherlucky as he was trying to desperately get into the payload, but to no avail, to no joy, and that first point is gonna be given to Immortals. It's kind of an interesting fact here, just because I think this is the Eichenwalde with the new door, or new third opening, wherein if the payload passes through that big gate, you can actually it won't actually close anymore. It actually allows the attacking team to have more entry points, and that's actually, I think, really good for the offensive team. Jesus actually going in, but wasn't able to connect too much. Oh, he's actually a little bit in trouble here. He's trying to run away, activates the rewind, and will he actually be able to get out of there? Definitely not, as that payload is just going to keep pushing here for the side of Immortals. And Renegades, I think they have to shift up a little bit here. They're going to go for the triple DPS setup with Mangachu already having attack visor up and running, but big problem here is Immortals hasn't lost any momentum at all. Their team is just slow pushing it, going for that death ball comp. But look at this, Mangachu from up above finding Grim Reality there, and I think that's a good opener here for the side of Renegades. He actually goes in and hits another Helix rocket into the face of, oh my goodness, Aethan. And now this could be Renegades with that momentum push, or with that momentum counter engage. They're not going to be able to at least get some control of the payload. Oh, Agilities, who was trying to at least get the small health pack there, but no joy. Oh, that was actually pretty aggressive there from Nomi. He's going in, he just want to go in by himself, but now his teammates are all around him. And Mangachu finding Aethan once more. That's not going to be good. Eco there actually slept dart, but I mean, what can he do? He's going to go in maybe with the Dragon's Blade. It actually could be a huge factor here, but not going to need it, as his teammates all around him with a triple DPS setup just wreaking havoc, making a lot of damage happen. And Agilities again, a little bit too out of position. He was trying to go for at least the Heaven's Hook, but it wasn't going to connect anyways, so yeah. So here comes Eco again. He does have the Dragon Blade, like I said before. He's just waiting for a prime position to actually do this. And Hyped does have the Graviton Surge primed and ready here. He's getting focused a little bit by Juvenile, who already activated his Primal Rage. And it looks like Renegades are going to be wanting to get the fight inside. But oh my goodness, the poke at the choke with the Graviton Surge. There's not going to be a mercy there to actually revive these guys. And now Renegades have to be on the retreat here, as Jesus, oh man, the right click from Agility is just stopping Jesus where he stands, and this payload is going to be pushing. Renegades went in a little bit too over aggressive, and I think they're going to be paying the price for that one. But hold that thought here, as, oh my goodness, Eco with the deflex just pushing back Agilities. Oh, he's going to be feeling that for days. And Mangachu here going to be able to find Grim Reality's And I really thought that Renegades had a misplay there. Actually, I think it really was a misplay because they didn't take into account, I think, Hype's Zarya having that Graviton Surge, but at the same time, it was a good enough distance wherein Immortals had to keep pushing, but oh, the Sleep Dart connecting from Sherlucky. I mean, we've been talking so much about how Mangachu is the man here for Renegades, but Sherlucky has been such a great Ana player as well, hitting those key Sleep Darts to keep her DPS alive, but Grim Reality with the Nano Visor gonna be able to clean up house, and that's gonna be it. Third point is now in works for Immortals as the door is being broken down here by the payload. So Eiko actually shifted up his Genji to a Zarya. I really think that Zarya is going to be pretty good here just because, of course, the Zarya bubbles is going to soak up a lot of damage. Plus, that actually can be amplified because this is such a tight corridor or tight space kind of environment wherein, you know, Focus Fire is definitely a key factor in pushing. So Zarya bubbles would definitely get charged really quickly here. Jesus is going to go for the backstab. He's going to be wanting to put down an immense... Oh no, he was trying to put down a pulse bomb but wasn't able to connect. I think he was, I don't know, he just felt a little bit too razzle-dazzled there to actually do anything or to place down properly. Mangachu activating the Nano Visor, but they're behind the payload here, behind the Reinhardt. He's trying to actually get away, but the damage is not being dealt here by Mangachu. He just pushes back Immortals for a couple of seconds, but they can actually just regroup and push right now like what they're doing. It's going to be the hammer down coming in from Nomi. Here comes Agilities. Cannot connect, but Grim Reality is here up on top. High ground, actually. Gonna be able to get 1-2 kills onto Jer as well as Eiko, not even needing to use his Nano Attack Visor. And that's gonna be Renegades. Can they actually get into the payload before it peeks into the point? Grim Reality activating his ultimate right there just to clean up house as well as to stop them from actually sticking to the point, to the payload here. And look at this. Oh my goodness. Renegades are trying to desperately use that Mei wall to block the pathing of Immortals, but Immortals are not dying. The exchange of deaths here is 2-1 in favor of Immortals, and now Nomi charging in, pushing back Juvenile. Juvenile, oh no! Juvenile's gonna get taken down. Eiko here on the point as well. And there's Sherlucky from behind, but will get spotted out by Grim Reality. Grim Reality has been free hitting right here, but Eiko having the Graviton Surge, and my goodness, oh my gosh! It's going to be again Renegades able to at least clutch from the defeat, from the jaws of defeat, and Mangachu with the fadeaway headshot onto, I believe that was Agilities. That was very interesting there. Alright, sorry guys. That was a very interesting fight there. The trickle in from Renegades was definitely... Oh! Hype with the pulse bomb connect onto Jer. But again, yeah, that trickle mechanics was actually able to happen because of Eiko's Graviton Surge and as well as, you know, just the respawn advantage for Renegades. There's gonna be, again, a lot of kills here for Immortals though, and look at this, the 1v1 duel for Hype as well as, well, I think that was Jer, or Jesus rather, with Hype coming up on top, and then Immortals just having the ult economy in their advantage as well. Gonna be able to get a 3-0 with how much time left? I think 10 seconds, so that's not too much time. We're gonna see as Renegades actually push up into the first attack, into their first attack side. There you go. It's actually a pretty interesting time right now because there has been a lot of shifting in the meta. If you guys didn't know about it, or I'm pretty sure you do, is there's no more heavy, how would you say this? Heavy emphasis on the tank meta because they have weakened the Ana so much. I mean, yeah, she's still viable as a good support with a good amount of CC as well, and of course that Biotic Grenade definitely gonna be, you know, key to pushing away people at certain choke points, at certain angles. But because of the changes to the Zenyatta, because of the upcoming changes to the Lucio, that's going to be pushing a lot more into these type of dive compositions that have so much mobility and so much, I would say, burst damage, just because you have the Discord Orb with the Zenyatta, you know, him having no more RNG with his left clicks. It doesn't actually, like, curve a little bit or stray off a little bit from the crosshair path, so you can actually hit your headshots a bit more accurate, as well as I would think the nerfs, the previous nerfs onto the Diva, onto I believe onto Roadhog as well. Yeah, with the hooks, as well as his yeah, that's actually just the hooks. So DPS is actually really looking well right now. And now let's see, as Renegade's gonna be going for actually a triple DPS setup, nothing too out of the ordinary right there, but you can see the Immortals are hitting their shots. My goodness, Agilities with that Roadhog. He really likes to actually pick this certain hero here, and even with that hook being changed from being changed to hook 2.0 or 2.1 already, I think at this moment. Connecting his shots, and of course his right click is definitely a huge momentum killing factor there, as the magic distance where you can hit all of your pellets into one right click shot is just dominant. Mangachi going to be playing on a Pharah, and of course Pharah right now, I think one of the strongest DPS at the moment, even though she can get countered heavily by a McCree and Soldier. If you can just, you know, pick out your distance and hit from long range your projectiles, I really think it can work out well for you. But Immortals are still standing strong here with a triple DPS, triple tank setup rather. I think Renegades right now are just playing on the choke, and this is actually not boding too well for them, as well. Immortals, well, they can just outlast whatever Renegades do. Mangachu there really can't find a break at the moment. Ethan gonna be spotted out. Oh, that was actually pretty good. Jesus, as well as the remaining members of Renegades baiting out Immortals to actually go into the small room onto the left side, and then they kind of separated the two supports to the main tanks, and now that could be the opening here for Renegades. There's not a mercy in sight for the Immortals roster, so Ego here gonna be going with the Dragon's Blade, and he's gonna be pushing out Grim Reality there with his Soldier 76. Ego's gonna get spotted out, but at the same time, the point is being contested already by Renegades. Activates the sound barrier, and Mangachu is still onto the point, and you can see Juvenile using his Primal Rage just to push out Grim Reality, but he's already wrapped around, and he's spotting out Jesus here. Jesus has to back away with the rewind, as he cannot actually do too much. Grim Reality is getting focus fired here. Oh, how is he surviving for such a long time? But now they will be able to finalize that one. Second kill goes for Mangachu. Eco to follow up as well, and that could be just about it. Yes, it's gonna be that 4 minutes left into the clock for the streets phase here at Eichenwalde. Agility is getting spotted out. Mangachu has high ground control. And do they still have a counter? I mean, Grim Realities is gonna be good with the Soldier, but I mean, it's not as good as I would think. Graviton Surge being activated here for the side of Immortals, and they will be able to clean up a little bit of house there with Juvenile being dropped dead. And oh, they're gonna be spotting out Sure Lucky, actually playing with the Zenyatta, shifting up from the Ana, so he's gonna be playing with that offensive support. I'm actually loving Zenyatta right about now, just because he does have that lethality with his with his left click and as well as right click, if you can, you know, find the angle to just spam out the 5 orbs. And of course that, speaking of orbs, the Discord orb is definitely a huge factor here for how Zenyatta has been, you know, such a up-and-coming support for your roster, especially when you're going to be pushing and then you have like these squishy DPS. If you can actually just put a Discord order on them, yes, it's not the 50% like way before. I think it's like 30% now or 20%. But the beauty of it is it's still, you know, damage amplification, and because of how prevalent DPS are becoming right now and how consistent, you know, of course pro players can hit their shots, even though it has been reduced significantly in terms of percentage, I think that Discord Orb can still help you out, especially when you just need that extra oomph of damage just to, you know, get the finalizing blow. And speaking of finalizing blow, Eco is actually getting 2 kills already here with the help from Jesus as well. And it looked like Immortals really wanted to get the control onto the payload, but they kind of overextended again and played into the turf of Renegades. And you can see right here, Renegades is just playing the spread out composition. As the dive comp evolves into the push comp, because you're going to be trying to get that payload moving, you really don't want to play like a death ball wherein you're just gonna let your team, you know, push as 6 people into the payload, just because it doesn't really work that way, you know. And now Graviton Surge is gonna be activated here for Hyped, and the kill feed is actually pretty even right now. Agilities though, having the connection onto that hook. Oh my goodness, Jared gonna be spotted out. Not gonna be too good for him. And it looks like the payload is going to be put into the control. Oh, is he going to be able to survive? Yes. Nice one from Jesus there. A little bit of fancy footwork. But yeah. You're going to be able to connect. Oh! Here, onto the high ground. Eco is still alive. Doesn't have his ultimate anymore. Oh, Agility's not going to get hit by the pulse bomb. I think Agility's here. Oh my goodness, Jesus doesn't know. He's going to be rewinding back, definitely. And they have been focusing Agility so much here. I think this is the problem right now for Renegades. They've been focusing Agilities and not actually able to shut him down. Jesus finally getting the pick, but the problem is he kind of overcommitted to that one and it just didn't work. So now we're going to be seeing as there's going to be only 30 seconds left into the clock for Renegades. Mangachu and Eco should be having their ultimates. Nano Visor activated here from Grim Reality, but oh my goodness, that was actually pretty good. Ethan's Sleep Dart got deflected by the Genji and put into Grim Reality. Even though Eco dies, if they can actually take a slight advantage into that and push the payload, that could make or break it for Renegades. But at the same time, there's not any time on that clock left. They have to be pushing into the payload, push it into overtime. Eco gonna be pushing out his blade, and he gets the kill onto Grim Reality. That's a huge startup for Eco here. He's trying to go rampant with the Dragon's Blade, but only gets the 1. Has to go for the deflect. He's very afraid of Agilities right now, and Agilities is such a huge meat bag of power here that, well, Renegades really can't go through all of that. Shalucky actually shifting up to the Sombra here. And, well, Sound Barrier being activated by the Lucio from Immortals will not allow Renegades to do so much, and that is going to be it. Looks like Immortals going to be winning our first match here. Alright, guys. So I actually did a different approach to my solo cast right now, because it kind of takes me maybe an average of 1 hour and 30 minutes to actually do the casts. Right now, my approach would be to actually just cast the 1 game and do it as focused as I can. So if you guys like this type of approach, because I've kind of noticed that on these 3 casts, I have been very exhausted after each and every one of them. Yes, of course I can cast for long hours, but the real problem for me is solo casting isn't sustainable for me. But I have seen other casters do that, and well, yeah. If you guys liked this type of 1 game solo casting for my Asurai solo cast, please, share your comments down below, and you can follow my social media accounts as well. I have posted them on the description. Again, this is Asurai, and you're watching Asurai Solo Casts. Thank you so much, guys, and peace out!